So we did it, guys. We survived 2023. I just want to say thank you. 2023 has actually been the most successful year for this channel. I've gotten more subscribers than any other year, and I want to keep doing that. I want to keep, I don't necessarily have a goal if I want to get like 2,000 subscribers this year, 3,000. I just want to get as many as I can possibly get because I am going to be using this platform to show off projects, short films, feature films, possibly. Just to let you guys know more about it. And I just want to connect with people, and I want to collaborate and network. And I'm always looking for people to work with. I'm looking for somebody that knows how to use Blender and does art, just drawing and stuff. So I just want to expand the channel as much as I can for the next year. I don't really have necessarily a goal in mind, but I just want to get it as big as I can. And 2023 has just been an insane year. I filmed two shorts. I filmed a feature film, one of my dream projects that we're still editing, that'll be out this year. Just an insane year. An insane year. Also, I don't get into my personal life too much on this channel, but also I have a son. I have a wife and son, and my son is growing. He's getting bigger. So that's been an adventure in itself. But yeah, it's been a very eye-opening year. A lot of things are just sort of out there, and wouldn't change it for the world. We're gonna have to speed this video up because my watch pile for December is kind of nuts, and this isn't including some of the streaming films that I watched and some of the theater visits that I had. And when I was looking at my pile of films that I had seen in December, I was like, what in the fuck? Like, because there's a reason why, because I've been watching something else, which, excuse me, is what I'll get into first. So I was very confused why my pile was so big. So let's not waste any more time. So let's go ahead and talk about why I was confused why my pile was so big, because me and my wife have been watching this, and we just finished it, and that's Hannibal. We finished the series of Hannibal. I love it. I thought the first season was absolutely fantastic. I thought the second season was really, really, really good. The third season, though, there were a few episodes in the third season that I did really enjoy. But for the most part, the third season, it really went downhill for me. I heard that they did have budget problems, which I could definitely see. And I'm very sad that we didn't get a fourth and final season that could tackle Silence of the Lambs, possibly. But I did feel like it ended in a very satisfying way. I think it ended as good as it possibly could, given the situation that it was in. But if you guys have not seen Hannibal, and you like Mads Mikkelsen. Mads Mikkelsen's probably my favorite actor, Willem Dafoe or Mads Mikkelsen. Then you be very wary about the third season, because I wasn't a big fan of it. I was not a big fan of the third season, but seasons 1 and 2 were really, really good. Let's go ahead and talk about the DVDs first. I always like to just sort of separate everything from like DVDs, Blu-ray, special Blu-rays, 4Ks. Anyway, The Nest. Now, this is from Sean Durkin, who also did, which he has another film that is on this list. I might as well just go ahead and pull it out. So, admittedly, there's a few films in here that I've not seen, but there's a reason why they're in here, so I guess I'll talk about that. Martha, Macy, May, Marlene. So, the guy that did Iron Claw, Sean Durkin, he also did these two films, and I wanted to catch up on his filmography before I watched Iron Claw. Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene, that's sort of that's kind of a tongue twister. I liked it, but I definitely did not like it more than The Nest. I actually thought The Nest was pretty masterful, and I did enjoy The Nest a lot more than I did Iron Claw. If you can watch The Nest, I definitely recommend checking it out. I actually have some films in here that I actually did not watch for the month, but I guess I'll just show you anyway. So I have The Abyss and True Lies, which they're coming out on 4K in March, so they're in this pile, and I don't know why. And I didn't, I ended up getting Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia on imprint, and I had it on DVD. This is one that I actually have not seen, but I have the Blu-ray over there, so I guess I just put the DVD up. And then I got these for Christmas. I got Das Boot, the director's cut. I have the Blu-ray, but one of my friends got me the DVD, and I don't have this version of the DVD. And then he also got me Le Samurai, which actually it's funny because I don't think this is an English version whatsoever, and I have this on Criterion, but I don't have this version. And I actually talked about that one last month. So yeah, we got those out of the way. Sanctuary. I had a hard time with this one. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was a bad film. I really do like Margaret Qualley a lot, but I had a hard time with it. Maybe it needs a rewatch. Maybe I need to try to appreciate it a little bit more. It wasn't that I didn't like it. It was just I don't think it hit as much as it did other people for me personally. Ponyo. I enjoy watching Miyazaki's films. I am not the biggest anime person out there. Like I don't watch any anime TV series, TV shows, or anything. But I really just watch like Miyazaki's films, and then more of the more well-known anime films like Ghost in the Shell or Akira or Perfect Blue, something like that. So I'm not the biggest anime person out there, or Japanese animated person out there. But I enjoyed Ponyo. It's not my favorite Miyazaki film, but it has a certain level of charm. The Neon Demon. Now, I've been watching Nicholas Winding Refn's films. I've been going through his filmography, and I was not the biggest fan of this. I also watched Copenhagen Cowboy, which I was not the biggest fan of as well, but I do like Nicholas Winding Refn. I enjoy Bronson. Drive is really, really good. So I'm still getting into his filmography, and I'm still venturing through his films. But yeah, I feel like I like older Nicholas Winding Refn more than I do newer Nicholas Winding Refn, but I still enjoy him a lot. I still enjoy like Neon Demon actually did have its moments. I enjoyed the first half of this film. I think a lot more than I did the second half, even though there's more stuff that happens in the second half. It's whatever. Let the Right One In. This one is, I've not seen the remake of this, but which I do have, and I need to watch it. But this is one of the best vampire films ever made. If you guys have not seen this film, definitely give it a watch. It's kind of slow, but I feel like the more you rewatch it, the more you're going to be able to take from it. So I really enjoyed Let the Right One In. It's something that I think is perfect to watch during the wintertime. So you'll probably see this again on like my next December list or whatever. But yeah, if you've not seen this, definitely check it out. This was one that completely blew my mind. I might have to make another Lars von Trier ranked because I'm going to be watching The Kingdom here soon. I'm so excited about that. And then I also watched The Five Obstructions, which this film is it's sort of structured like a documentary. It is sort of a documentary in a way. And it's basically Lars von Trier, Jorgen Leth, he's trying to get one of his idols to remake his short film, The Perfect Human, 5 times with different obstructions. And I just was so engaged with this. This was so good. If you are if you are a fan of Lars von Trier, this is definitely worth your time. I enjoyed this movie so much. I would highly recommend any of you guys check this out. I do think you do have to have somewhat of an appreciation for Lars von Trier before you go into this. So if you are a fan of Lars von Trier, give this a watch. Seriously, it'll be worth your time. Right. Blu-rays. So after I got done watching Godzilla -1, me and my practical effects guy, the guy that did practical effects for Pasadena and basically every other project that I've done, we watched Tetsuo Iron Man. I've not seen Tetsuo 2. I've only seen the first one, so I've not seen Body Hammer. I liked it because it reminded me a lot of Eraserhead from David Lynch. So yeah, it's a very short film. I think it was only like it's only 67 minutes, which, I actually have a weird appreciation for films that are under 70 minutes. Like, I don't know why, but like, if I see a film that's 70 minutes, usually when I watch it, I'm like, I could have seen that going like at 80 minutes or like 70 or, like an hour and a half. But there are a few films out there that are barely over an hour that I really enjoy. And I've always personally, like recently, I've considered making a film that's only like an hour long. or an hour and like 5 minutes long, just because I feel like there's such a perfect balance with a film that's like a little over an hour. And it's almost, I don't want to say it's necessarily impossible to fail making a film that long, but you're not getting the audience too invested to the point to where if the film was a disappointment, they wouldn't want to, they'd be upset about it. But no, I like Host. That was a film that came out recently that I really enjoyed. And I just feel like it's almost like you're watching, it's going to be fast. So for the next hour, you're going to have to really pay attention. And I feel like you can get a little bit more engaged with the film that way. So I don't know. That's just sort of my weird philosophy on it. But Tetsuo Iron Man, I really enjoy it. If you're a fan of like earlier Lynch, like Eraserhead, or any of his short films, which I know that's probably kind of silly to just compare it to something David Lynch has done. But if you like body horror, watch it. Ida, I had a lot of, I don't want to say I had a lot of fun with this film. I need to quit saying I've had a lot of fun with stuff, man. But I enjoyed it. It's a beautiful film to look at. I'm a really big fan of Cold War. So it's Pawlowski? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. A little bit slow, but I did enjoy it a lot. The cinematography is very, very beautiful. One of my friends, LR, he really enjoys this film, and I liked it too. I had a good time with it. Oh, I kind of want to talk about this one a little bit later. Malcolm X. This was the first time I'd ever seen this film. I don't have the Criterion version. I bought the Blu-ray version for like $5 a long time ago, and I was like, okay, well, if I don't watch this now, this is just going to sit in my pile forever. And this is from Spike Lee. It had its moments. Like, I really enjoyed the last third of this film. I found the last third to be extremely engaging. I didn't really like the opening of the film. I didn't really like the first probably 45 minutes. It was very, very slow, and I really just didn't, I just couldn't get into it as much as I could. Seeing Malcolm X really transform into this very well-known legendary figure, that's whenever I really started getting into this film. But yeah, I've seen quite a few Spike Lee films. I still think my favorite Spike Lee film that I've seen is Do the Right Thing. That I really enjoyed that film. But this one, it was okay. I really wanted to like this film, and I usually try not to be negative talking about films, but Gretel and Hansel, I just could not get into this. I mean, I finished it, but it was so slow, and I usually love really slow films, but usually when I watch a film that's slower in pace, I know that there's going to be somewhat of a payoff at the end. I didn't really see this film going anywhere. I don't know. Maybe your kids will like it. I just could not get into it. I probably never watch it again. Cinematography was really nice, though. And the way that some of the stuff was shot, especially in the woods. Like as you get into the house, everything looks really warped, and the atmosphere. It's got a very. The atmosphere is brooding. I'm not going to lie, but I just could not. I'm sorry. Okay, so I had to restart this. Well, not restart the whole video, but my phone ran out of storage, so took care of that. So Guy Ritchie, The Covenant. Now, Guy Ritchie is a director that I am getting into currently. I do own most of his filmography, and I enjoyed this. I just know that there's better Guy Ritchie films out there. I mean, there's no other way to put it. But I liked it. I enjoyed Jake Gyllenhaal. Guy Ritchie just. I don't know. I really can't describe him as a director. I like his stuff from what I've seen. I think I saw somewhere I saw a comparison to Tarantino, Guy Ritchie and Tarantino, and I'm just like, I will actually be talking about this film on 4K. I have the Blu-ray of Titanic, and I have the VHS as well, right up there. Whatever. But we'll save this whenever I start talking about the 4Ks. Usually if I get a 4K or upgrade a 4K of like a DVD or Blu-ray, I'll kind of just like pull it out and put it somewhere else. Uninvited. Now, this one is unopened as well, but I watched it on Tubi. Because I was out. And You know, it's about a rabid cat, killer cat, on a ship. So you know what you're going to get with that. You know what you're going to get with it. And I'm not going to lie, it's cheesy, it's corny, but you know, I mean, what else did you expect? Blue Valentine. This is another one. I watched this one on. I'm trying to remember what I watched it on. Did I watch it on Prime? I forget. But I have the Blu-ray for it. And this film, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It gives you a very realistic look on relationships. Like me and my wife. I mean, we've not had any problems yet. But I'm just joking. I'm kidding. I do feel like this does show a realistic portrayal of a relationship. And I feel like people that are in a relationship are going to get more out of this film than people that are not. Because this film's just kind of just downright sad towards the end, you know? I mean, I was just kind of sitting there. I wasn't crying or anything, but I was just like, dang, this is really sad. And probably one of the better Ryan Gosling performances. A Haunting in Venice. Now, I am very surprised that this did not get a 4K. But bring these on. I saw this in theaters too. I thought it was great. I don't think it's better than Murder on the Orient Express. I really enjoyed Murder on the Orient Express, but A Haunting in Venice, it was a nice change of pace, and I'm cool to see Kenneth Branagh, whatever. I'm cool to see him in anything, so bring it on. Saw this in theaters, Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. It's my least favorite Indiana Jones movie, but it's still not as bad as people say it is. I feel like watching this in a marathon with all the other ones, I think you could have a good time. I just don't think you could jump into this one not seeing the other four for such a long time, because this one is definitely out there. It's probably the more out there Indiana Jones films, but I mean, and they're all kind of out there. So this one's funny. I've seen 28 Days Later. I saw 28 Days Later years ago. 28 Weeks Later, that's another story. And I finally watched 28 Weeks Later. I did not like it more than I did 28 Days Later, but I still enjoyed it. These are pretty good films, and I would like to see like a 28 months later or a 28 years later. I feel like I would like to see that. But 28 Days Later is one of the best zombie films that are out there, and it's also written by Alex Garland. So if you like Alex Garland, definitely check it out. Stroker. I'm actually going to have to get this going. This is from Park Chan-wook. This is an English language film from Park Chan-wook. It's got Nicole Kidman, and I forget what the other guy's name is. Matthew Good, which he is also in Silent Night and The Offer that just recently came out, which I really enjoyed The Offer. I liked it. It's not my favorite Park Chan-wook film by any means, but it's good. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Watch this for Christmas. Christmas cheese, you know. I mean, and if we're going to talk about Christmas cheese, we can also talk about Christmas Evil. And if we want to talk about Christmas Evil, we can definitely talk about Violent Night. See how I just took care of 3 films in one? Christmas Evil, I enjoyed it too. It's a very different take on like a slasher Christmas film. To the point where I don't want to spoil it, but I did enjoy Christmas Evil a lot more than I did these two. Violent Night was good. I'd never seen it before. I was like the only person that hadn't seen it. I felt like it could have been shorter, but I liked it, and I like David Harper. So, The Exorcist: The Believer. I saw this in theaters. I ended up getting the Blu-ray. It's not the worst Exorcist film, but definitely not the best. Hard to Be a God. I actually want to make a separate video on this. If you guys watch this and you were very confused, don't feel bad. I had to look up what this film was about, and from what I've seen on Reddit, people talking about this film, they more so just view it as an experience as a whole than trying to actually pay attention, because the set design is great. It's a very not necessarily fly on the wall film, because it really does put you, like, it's a very spectative film. But because you're really like there with these characters, you're like a spectator watching these characters sort of do their own thing. But yeah, Hard to Be a God. I liked it, but you really got to be in a mood to watch this. And then Dogman. This was a film that I actually was not expecting to love. This is like a 5-star film for me, seriously. I love the shit out of this film. Dogman is amazing. This film, oh, fuck, excuse me. This film is great, seriously. If you guys have not seen this film, definitely give it a watch. I think it might be on Tubi right now. This is the Region 2 Blu-ray, so and I know not everybody's region free, but this film is great. Holy shit, blew my expectations out of the water. And now let's get into the special stuff. The special stuff. Blue is the warmest color. This is a spicy film, guys. This is a very spicy film, and this is actually one of the cheaper Criterions that you can get. But this is a very spicy film. It's good though. I liked it. If you look at some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, though, yeah, you know, there's some behind-the-scenes stuff that's not so cool. But it won the Palme d'Or, and it's definitely. I mean, I could see why. I mean, it's a pretty epic film, but it's very spicy. Dead Man's Letters or Letters from a Dead Man. I can't tell. It doesn't have the title on there, but this is another film that you really got to be in the mood for before you watch it. And I liked it. I do enjoy this film. But yeah, I actually had to import this from Germany. But it had English subtitles, so that's a positive. Francis Ha. I like Noah Baumbach. This is probably not my favorite film from him, but I enjoyed it. Polytechnique. This one was actually on Tubi, another one that I ended up watching on Tubi. You know, I try to watch movies when I'm not at home. Denis Villeneuve, love Denis Villeneuve. This is one of his shorter films at only 77 minutes. Tackles some pretty rough subject matter. If you guys want to watch this, maybe look into you know what the film is actually about before you watch it. And it doesn't really hide a lot of stuff. It's really out there. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Saw this when it came out on Netflix. Came out on Criterion. Got the 4K. Love that man so much. Primer and Upstream Color. I definitely enjoyed Primer a lot more than I did Upstream Color. Primer is a mind-bending film. Would highly recommend it. It's really mind-bending. I love it. Dog Me, The Celebration. I should probably talk about this film in its own video. The other Dog Me film that I've seen is The Idiots from Von Trier. But I actually really enjoy this one a lot, from Thomas Vinterberg. It's definitely one of those like secondhand embarrassment films, but I loved it. I like it a lot, and I hope Criterion continues to release more Dog Me stuff. Stalker, watch this. I love showing this to people for the first time. One of my favorite movies ever, probably in my top 5. I absolutely adore Stalker. I have a Stalker poster right there, right there, and then I also have one over there. Donnie Darko, I did not get a chance to show this to my wife. She was busy, so I ended up just popping it in. I'd never seen the theatrical cut, only the director's cut, and I watched the theatrical cut. I don't know which one I like better. Stand by. Death Walks on High Heels, good little giallo film, you know, but there's other ones I would recommend. Wind Chill with Emily Blunt. This is an Imprint Films release. I love Imprint Films. I like it. I like this film a lot. It really did remind me of Dead End, the film Dead End. So yeah, if you guys get a chance to watch this, definitely check it out. Nice little cozy film. And Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which I ended up getting on Criterion. I'd never owned it on Criterion before, just my Twin Peaks box set, and got it on Criterion. This film's a masterpiece. What more can I say? And now let's get into the 4Ks. Let's go ahead and talk about The Creator. Saw this one in theaters. The 4K Blu-ray is absolutely gorgeous. One of the best science fiction films to come out in recent memory. Black Christmas 4K. Got a chance to check out The Transfer. Beautiful. One of the best slasher films ever. Definitely give this a watch. This came before most of them. I don't think it came before Texas Chainsaw. Some people would argue Texas Chainsaw isn't a slasher film. We're not going to get into that right now, but got the 4K. My granny-in-law bought it for me. Titanic on 4K. This film is beautiful. This film is beautiful on 4K. Watched it with the wife on Christmas Eve. It had been a long time since I'd seen it. Nothing more to say. I love James Cameron. And then last and certainly not least, The Witch 4K. I have the Blu-ray, but I got this specific 4K from Second Sight just because it has a color grade from Robert Eggers himself. and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But that's what I watched in December. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to check out the teaser trailer for Pesadilla, definitely check it out down in the description below. Also, if you guys want to check out my short film Dancing Man, it would mean a lot. I really appreciate the positive comments I got on that, just shooting it on the iPhone and experimenting. It's also on Letterboxd if you want to log it. And yeah, I got some more cool stuff coming out soon. I got another video coming out soon as well. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.